Back here on Debrief, thanks for staying with us. It's an issue that has divided Israelis and been a driving force in nearly any conversation about the now non-existent peace process. Can Israel continue to be a Jewish and democratic state without resolving the conflict? This Sunday, Israeli lawmakers are voting to swear on it, a committee weighing a bill to have ministers swear allegiance to a Jewish and democratic state. We'll go deeper inside that debate. First, our diplomatic correspondent Eli Ochenberg with us to explain how it all came about.
They all did it. Since the very beginning, despite all the divisions and disagreements, Israeli parliament members have been expressing their loyalty to the state of Israel.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
I pledge.
But once again, there are those who seek to make some adjustments, and they are more than just symbolic.
This legislation is in purpose to modify the law that there is today in order for Knesset members not only to be committed to the state of Israel, but also to be committed to the values of the state of Israel as a Jewish democratic state and to the symbols that represent those values.
This revived attempt will reach the Ministerial Committee for Legislation on Sunday, and thus far, according to the initiators of the bill, the Hawkish Israel Beitenu party, there are no objections and the prospects for it to get the green light are high. Anger is perhaps an understatement to what may happen in the opposition if a new pledge indeed moves forward, even though the road to legislation is still long and tangled.
I hope that at the end of the day we will succeed.
But for the ruling Hawkish government, the one many deem the most right-wing government in the history of the state, this might be an unusually honest and unapologetic declaration of intentions.
One more divisive subject. Let's get into the debate. Wassim Younis is a political analyst at Bar-Ilan University. Wassim, great to have you back. So when you hear about this bill that's going to be raised on Sunday, what do you think? What's your reaction to it?
I think that it is indeed a catch-22 situation in which, Arabs don't know what to do, how to behave. They don't know simply because once they went to the Knesset and Arabs, as the very principle that Arabs found in the Knesset, also, they are criticized by other Arabs that indeed they cannot promote anything that has a national appeal, and this is actually the ticket.
Arab lawmakers were very angered by this bill.
That's right, and this is because of the fact that also now they have to swear allegiance to the country, to the state, as a Jewish and democratic. By the time that, for Arabs, Jewish and democratic is actually the thesis and the antithesis. So it does not work. And I cannot expect a situation, I cannot imagine a situation in which I can see indeed Arab Knesset members who are functioning in the Knesset by the time that they indeed swore allegiance to a Jewish and democratic country. As a democratic country, it was okay, and they did that. But a Jewish and democratic country, because it completely contradicts the Palestinian narrative that allowed them actually to go to the Knesset in order to allegedly defend the rights of the indigenous minority of Palestinians in Israel.
Let's include also Jeremy Sultan. He's chairman of the Anglo Forum for the Right-Wing Jewish Home Party and also chairman of Mevaseret Zion. Thanks very much for joining us, Jeremy. So you heard a little bit what Wassim had to say. Can you understand the uproar over this law from Arab lawmakers in Israeli parliament?
This is actually a watered-down version of the original bill that was proposed 3 terms ago. In this bill, all they're doing is taking the existing text, which is read before each member of Knesset goes ahead and says that they commit or they pledge to be a member of Knesset, to add to that, text. And again, the part that they're adding, it's to again recognize the state as a Jewish and a democratic state.
Jeremy, that is the core. The part that they're adding is the core of this conversation here. To swear allegiance to a Jewish and democratic state, isn't that problematic for Arab lawmakers in Israel?
Again, there's no swearing, there's no oath. Religious Jews are not able to commit an oath. That's why the original pledge was made to begin with the first Knesset. And again, what's being asked to be done here, and by the way, it's not just for Knesset members, it's also supposed to be for ministers and for the Prime Minister himself or herself, if that would ever happen, is to have an additional part of the text. Right now it reads that you go ahead and you commit yourself to work for the state of Israel and its laws. So now they want to talk about what the character of the state of Israel is, but it's not adding on any additional law onto the books. It's just adding on to the actual text.
Jeremy.
And once again, it's a pledge. It's not an actual oath.
Jeremy, stay with us. Wassim, what's your reaction to that?
Listen, I think that the best definition that I can say is it is completely exorcism. But here, in this case, I'm not talking about expelling jinns and demons. It is simply per se expelling Arabs from the Knesset. And I think that this ministerial committee actually in this legislation will open a Pandora box again, and Arabs will think again whether it is possible for them. It is a possibility for them to go to the Knesset. And I think that once Arabs are not found in the Knesset, this is going to strengthen the Palestinian narrative that unfortunately peace is out of reach.
Jeremy makes a good point. Couldn't this serve to actually divide that and maybe work against what these Israeli lawmakers actually want?
Yeah, I disagree with that. First of all, there are non-Jewish members of Knesset that are in parties with Jews. We also have a non-Jewish minister, once again, in this government, Ayub Kara of Likud. And of course, we have Faraj, who is an MK in the Meretz party, which is, a left-wing but still Zionist party. And I reject that this is something that is supposed to take people out of the game. Again, this is just asking to add on what the identity of the state is to the pledge that they're taking. There's nothing beyond that. It's very simple, and it's not that offensive.
Clearly, not everybody agrees. A debate that will be interesting to follow. We'll see where it actually goes. The vote on Sunday. Jeremy Sultan, Wassim Younis, thanks both very much for taking part in this conversation. And we're going out for a quick update from the news desk on the headlines, then on debrief inside a Palestinian city right on the Green Line that used to be a spot for tourism and trade. What's become of it now with those who know it best?